Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's visible, Prabhuji, now?
Yes, Prabhuji, perfectly.
The chapter 2 of Gita. This is called Sankhya Yoga. This is also called Contents of Gita. The same thing, Contents of Gita summarized. Summary of Gita. Just a quick recap. Yesterday, the first chapter, Arjuna declined to fight the war. So he gave several reasons. The 4 reasons appeared in this that chapter itself. Then the 5th reason appears in the 2nd chapter. Okay. This is Gita Saramsha coming down from Krishna to Arjuna. Quick recap. The first reason Arjuna gave was Karuna. One should have compassion. So out of compassion, he said, I don't want to fight the war. Second reason, he said, where is the question of enjoyment when all my own kith and kin, my relatives, friends are all dead? With all their being dead, what I will enjoy? What I will do with the kingdom? What I will do with so much money, so much power if they are not there? So he's saying there is no enjoyment. The third reason Arjuna gave was, it's a great sin. So much that I will go to hell and I will live there eternally. So much sin it is. Third reason. The fourth reason he said, with so much people being killed, what will happen to the dependents, the women that are unprotected? Then the coming generation, they will turn out to be without any proper guidance, without following any religious rules and regulations. So definitely the family traditions, whatever to be followed, whatever everyone has to follow as part of the human society, everything will be in shatters. Nobody will follow that. And finally, what we call sampradaya, all kula dharma, everything will be destroyed. Family traditions will be destroyed. That is not only harmful to the people who are causing it, to general mass of the society. Everybody is affected by that. So Arjuna could foresee this, what can happen. So many people are killed. What will happen to the families? What will happen to the women? What will happen to children? Like that, he is able to foresee so far. So it all seems very, very logical, very understandable. Arjuna's viewpoint that why he will not fight. And the 5th reason is indecisiveness. Arjuna is not very sure of what he's doing, whether he's right in having all these reasons, or is it a holy war? Is it meant for establishing dharma? And like that, he's indecisive. So out of indecisiveness, he is not able to do anything, either fight or run away from the battlefield, go to forest somewhere. He's not able to do anything, basically, practically. So these are the 5 reasons Arjuna says, I'm not going to fight. So then that's when he surrenders to Krishna in this shloka. This shloka is called the surrendering shloka of Bhagavad-Gita, the 2nd chapter, 7th shloka. Until now, we see Krishna and Arjuna speaking like friends. Arjuna is the eternal friend of Krishna. Though he is a devotee, he has a unique relationship, is a specific relationship as a friend. So every one of us originally have one of the 5 relationships with Krishna. Krishna is Supreme Lord, we being is part and parcel. We have one of the 5 relationships, Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, So Arjuna is in that sense related to Krishna eternally as a friend in a Sakya Rasa. So in that mood, in the first chapter, just as a friend always speaks on an equal level, Krishna, Arjuna is also speaking on an equal level to Krishna in the first chapter of the Bhagavad-Gita. But in spite of all that calculation, the understandings, he is not able to solve his problem. That's when he understands my friend Krishna is not an ordinary person, he's the Lord himself. So he surrenders to Krishna. So yes, he shows us also how to take shelter of Krishna. So this is a surrendering shloka. This is called surrendering shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, Arjuna says, Karpanya dosho apahata svabhavaha prachami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha yat shreya nishtitam bru itan me shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. So prapannam. So he says, Krishna, I'm confused. What is my duty? What to do now? Should I fight? Should I not fight? So kindly let me know. Now I take your shelter. Now I'm surrendered to you. So please instruct me. I'm your disciple. Because the relationship between guru and disciple is guru will instruct, disciple will follow whatever instructions given. So Arjuna takes a subordinate position to Krishna and requests him to guide him. So we have to have a guru, we have to take guidance because we are having so many imperfections. The four imperfections, which is inherent in every one of us. We are all conditioned souls in this world. We have this imperfect senses. We are under illusion. We have a cheating propensity. We are prone to commit mistakes. So every one of us, nobody is, maybe somebody is less, somebody is more. But anyway, these four imperfections, every one of us have. So having these inherent imperfections, it behooves us to approach a bona fide spiritual master and take his shelter, just like Arjuna is taking. So we also have to take shelter. So here one thing what is shown is many times we say, I don't believe, so or I believe. It's not something like I believe, I opine, I think like that. So it is not the way we understand spiritual life. Spiritual life, we are so limited. Just like yesterday we were saying, we were giving the example of an ant. It's such a small existence. How the ant can understand anything and everything about our existence, human life, our city, our country. They cannot understand. Similarly, every human being, even though we may be a great scientist, great philosopher, how much with our tiny intelligence we can understand about the transcendence. So just by our imperfect senses, we cannot understand everything. So that's like it's being shown here. We see a far away place. We are standing on the ocean shore and we see something across a small island. We hardly can see anything. When we go near, we see, oh, there is some island there, and there is a mountain or something in that island, and then there is a tree over there, and within the tree, oh, there are birds, and there is a parrot which is enjoying the fruits of the tree. That is the distance, the access, the capacity what you have, so through which you can go there and you can see. Suppose I don't have the capacity to go swim, to go across the ocean, to swim across, or a boat. I will stay at the shore and I will see something easy, very easy. So this is in the beginning of spiritual life, when we try to understand what is absolute truth, who is God. We have a very impersonal, vague understanding. We are not clear. It is something divine. It is something transcendental. It is something unexplainable, impersonal. We are not clear. There is something we know, but what is that something we don't know? Like people say to us, I believe there is some power, there is some God, but what is it? We don't know. So this is when we start our spiritual life, very vague understanding. But as we go further and further, we understand, yes, just like in this example, a clear a parrot having taking a fruit. Similarly, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdeti. Bhagavatam says, Vadanti tattva vidha tattvam yajgnanam advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdeti. So in the spiritual line, the first understanding is Brahman understanding. So we have heard Aham Brahmasmi. So that is the first understanding. That I am different from this body and I am part of the Supreme Brahman, Parabrahman. That is first. Second understanding is not only I am Brahman, I am different from this body, I am an Atma, I am a conscious spirit soul. With me is the Lord as Paramatma. That is the second understanding, which is called Paramatma understanding. This is the Paramatma understanding. Then we have the final understanding, the complete understanding, the Bhagavan understanding. So wherein we know that the Lord is a person. It's not something, just some power, some impersonal, without any form, without any qualities, without any pastimes. It's like that. No. Janmadi asya yataha. The Shastras explain that the Supreme Absolute Truth is something from which everything comes, everything emanates. So whatever we find in this world, everything is there in the source. Without being in the source, how it can be manifested in this world in first place? So Krishna, the supreme absolute truth, is a person, because here we find personalities. But he's a supreme person, a transcendental person, not having material body like us. And he's having activities, he's having qualities, everything which is spiritual, transcendental, beyond our understanding. But he's a person. So this is a final complete understanding of the Vedic scriptures. So many times the understanding of Atma, Brahman is there, but it stops at that. No, as we go further deep into subject matter, there is a further realization of Paramatma, there is a final realization of Bhagavan. So here, whenever the Lord is spoken from now on in the Gita, Vedavyasa addresses Krishna as Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhagavan is a supreme personality of Godhead. That's the meaning. Meaning of Bhagavan is a person, supreme person. So far we heard Arjuna being addressed as Arjuna, Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya, Sanjaya, Duryodhana as Duryodhana. By their particular names they were addressed. But from now on, whenever Krishna starts speaking in the Gita, Vedavyasa takes note that not ordinary person is speaking. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Shri Bhagavan means who is the supreme person, even in the spiritual understanding of the absolute truth. Brahmeti, Paramatmiti, Bhagavan. So Krishna is Bhagavan. There's one more meaning for Bhagavan given by Parashara Muni, who says any person who possesses 6 divine qualities to an unlimited extent is Bhagavan. So generally 6 qualities, Shadaishwarya, Purna Bhagavan, it is said. So we get attracted to beauty, we get attracted to wealth, we get attracted to power, we get attracted to fame, we get attracted to knowledge, we get attracted to renunciation. Gnana Vairag, what is that? It is Aishwaryasya Samagrasya, Viryasya Yashasa Shriya, Gnana Vairagyashcheva. It is said, Krishna possesses all these 6 qualities to an unlimited degree. So Aishwarya is wealth. So we are getting attracted to that. So anybody comes into our city, some rich person, some wealthy person, oh, we all want to see, we all want to say what, hear what he wants to say. So Aishwarya, then Virya, the power, any powerful person, he attracts attention. Any famous person, he attracts attention. But Krishna is being the supreme personality of Godhead, has all these qualities naturally, intrinsically, to an unlimited extent. That is why he's called Bhagavan. Even when he manifested 5,000 years ago in his earthly pastimes, he displayed this. Everyone was attracted to him. Which we find in Vrindavana or in Mathura, everywhere. Not only the women folk, all the living entities in Vrindavana, the plants, the birds, the animals, the cows, the calves, everybody is attracted to Krishna. Because Krishna, being the Paramatma, is attracting to every soul. Sarva Akarshaka, Krishna. So similarly is knowledge, the small piece of knowledge which Krishna is giving, the Bhagavad-Gita. Today we will hear about Krishna speaking about the soul. Such a wonderful knowledge in such a short span of time. Is Krishna. Krishna's knowledge is just a sample of it. And we see in the nature such wonderful things. See, even a small atom, even a small cell, the arrangements there, we are struck. The scientists are struck. The person who deciphered, who was heading the project of deciphering the code of DNA, he says, I can see the intelligence of God in DNA, in the structure of DNA. So one can see what is the knowledge. So Bhagavan is somebody who possesses unlimited knowledge, who possesses unlimited beauty, who possesses unlimited wealth, unlimited power. Nobody can challenge him. Krishna, even as a child, he killed demons Putana, Trinavarta, and he lifted the Govardhana hill continuously for 7 days. So it is not stories, it is all documented by Vedavyasa, great acharyas, the professors in spiritual line have accepted this as actual facts. So Krishna displayed all these wonderful activities. So it's not that anybody and everybody we can say is Bhagavan, is God, is incarnation. No, there is test. There is test whom to accept, how to accept. So Krishna qualifies himself inherently as a supreme personality of Godhead. Is a source of everything. Sarva Karana Karanam. Ishvaraha Parama Krishnaha Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. So anyway, so Krishna now starts answering Arjuna's questions, starting from now 11th shloka. The Lord first of all takes a superior position as a guru, being the Lord himself. So he says to Arjuna, you are speaking like a very learned man, Pandita, but actually this is not a learned man speaking, because you are lamenting for something which is not to be lamented. You are feeling grief, feeling pain for something which you should not be feeling like that. That means you are not a learned person. You are a fool. So indirectly, Krishna said that. And then Krishna says, yes, the first reason Arjuna said, I'm not going to fight because out of compassion, I'm feeling I should not fight. So Krishna said, no, out of compassion, you should fight, Arjuna. Compassion for what? You are showing compassion for the dress of a drowning person. Suppose a person is drowning in the ocean or any river. So what we do? We go, we jump into the river and we take out the dress and then we give it to the family. We say, see, you bought such a nice new clothing for your son or daughter, whatever, and all the jewels, all that. So now I've brought all of them. You kindly have it. So they will, there's a real person, the son, the daughter, whoever is drowned in the water, they are dead. So what will they say? What do we do with all this wealth? The real person is gone. Similarly, without understanding the soul, the real person within this body, we just cater to the outward demands of the body and look for the well-being of the body. It is like saving a dress of a drowning man. So the real compassion, real helping a person is to bring us to our spiritual existence. We understand who we are. We understand how we are intimately connected with the Lord, how we have an intimate loving relationship with the Lord, the supreme protector, supreme without that knowledge, without that understanding, living in ignorance, living and thinking that I am this body, that is not compassion. That is violence. It is said himsa and ahimsa. One is the physical thing. Another thing you can say, in the mind we scold somebody, but much more violence is something which we are not when we don't give this knowledge of the soul, which is actually the responsibility of any gentleman, like in the family, the parents, then in the society, the teachers, then in the nation, the leaders. So it is said one should not take up these responsible tasks unless he has the capacity to give this knowledge to deliver the dependents, whoever is dependent on them for guidance. So it is their responsibility to give this knowledge of soul, to real understanding of knowledge, to give them. So Krishna says this is compassion. With that, Krishna tells to Arjuna, yes, you be compassionate, but not on the bodily platform. You should be compassionate on the real spiritual platform, in the real understanding of life. Because Krishna gives a wonderful example. Starting from here, he says, continuously there is a change of body. We have seen ourselves. I remember I was a small baby. I was eating like this. I was jumping like this. And then after that, then I went to school. I went to college. Then so many things. Then my parents fulfilled so many of my desires. I remember all those things in the body, what I did. But today, where is that body? It is not there. It's only there as photographs, something we don't have much videos of those times. Now we do videos, at least some photographs I may have. And then if I see, it is completely different. The pictures, the photo, what is there and what is not. Even scientifically, the scientists say every 7 years, the whole constitution of the body, the whole chemical composition, this at the atomic level, everything is changed. Atom to atom, it is every 7 years it says there is a change like that. It keeps changing every second, because we are continuously eating something, we are inhaling, we are exhaling, we are giving out byproducts. So continuously there is a change. But after 7 years, they say you can actually say whatever was there previous 7 years back, nothing is there in this body after that. The whole thing is changed. Even the brain cells, they say it is going to live for a long time. But the whole composition of the cell membrane, cell nucleus, whatever we say, which constitutes that brain cell, it's completely changed. So in that sense, who am I? So if I'm this body, that body is finished, that is gone, that chemical constitution is gone. So I'm something different from this body. So in fact, it's a very misunderstanding which is prominent in society, that life is coming from chemicals. No, these chemicals, these molecules, that cannot give any symptoms of life, cannot give any symptoms of thinking, feeling, activities. It's completely a different phenomenon. The consciousness, there are great so many studies of consciousness. It's completely independent of the body. So body is just a vehicle for the soul, just like we have a house where I'm living. So I can live in any other house. So similarly, this for the soul, the body is a dwelling place. Body is a condition, is particular conditioning way to live. That's all. It's nothing more than that. So Krishna gives this nice example that in this lifetime there is a change of body. Similarly, at the time of death, the soul goes to another body. Dhiras tatra namuhyati. So Arjuna, why you are lamenting? You are thinking your grandfather Bhishma Pitamaha will die. Don't worry, he will get a new body. Just like you have a old house, you then demolish the house or you reconstruct the house to new house. So then why to worry? It's a phenomenon, it's a change that has to happen. If not today, after 100 years or 1,000 years, Bhishma Pitama has to die. There's no way anybody can escape from death in this world. So that being the case, and he's such a great personality, definitely the next life is going to get a spiritual body. He got a spiritual body. So why you have to worry? And why you're thinking about all these people on compassionate grounds? Why you don't want to kill them? You kill them, they will also, because it's a religious war, they will achieve a better destination. In the ordinary course of life, somebody dies, it depends on his karma. But here, on the order of Krishna, for dharma, this yuddha, this war is being fought, nobody is going to lose anything. They are going to get benefited. And that's what actually happened. Whoever lived after this Mahabharata war, they experienced the Vaikuntha life in this world, because Yudhishthira Maharaj established Ramarajya, such a pious king. And whoever died in the battlefield, they all mostly died being killed by Arjuna. And they were dying seeing Krishna. So Ante Narayana Smriti. So all of them went back to spiritual world. So where is the loss? So materially, we see so many people died, so much bloodshed, but we don't know what happened after that. So Krishna is telling, you don't have to be compassionate on the material grounds, be compassionate on the spirit, in the real understanding of the soul, Atma. So this is the first understanding Krishna gives, the existence of the soul. We are not this body, we are a possessor of the body. Deha and Dehi. Deha means body, Dehi means the owner of the body. So we are owner of the body. We are not the permanent owner of the body, just like we go to a rented place. Presently, our temple, we got a land, but now still the time we are in a rented place. So this is our landlord has given us for some time. So it belongs to him. So anytime we have to go. Similarly, this body also, it is not not ours. It is given by the Lord, by the nature, for some time. So then after that, I have to give this up, I have to go somewhere else. So, but why this change of body? Why at all I have to change? We don't want to keep changing from one rented house to another rented house. We don't want to change from one job to another job. We always feel, why not have some permanent job? Why not have some permanent house? Why not have everything permanent? We yearn for permanence in this world, even though we know everything is temporary here. So that quest for permanence itself shows that I am eternal, I am permanent, but I am stuck up in a temporary body, temporary situation. That quest, what we have for permanence, for eternity, that itself shows that I am having a such existence, eternal existence. Not only sat chit ananda. Chit means complete knowledge. Today we are in ignorance. We don't know who am I. We don't know what is our duty. We don't know what is this world, who is God, what is my relationship with God. But in our original existence, we are also Sat, Chit, and Ananda. In connection with the Lord, we experience complete happiness. That is our original, real existence. So Krishna is giving Arjuna, through Arjuna, this knowledge to us that we are Satchidananda, living entities. We have nothing to do with this body. So not only we are Satchidananda, Krishna, the source of us, is also Satchidananda. And he is a person, not that he is some impersonal thing. No. Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. Vigraha means form. He has a form which is spiritual. So there is a difference between Krishna's form and our form. We are having material form, but Krishna's form is always spiritual, Satchidananda form. So we don't have an experience right away. But from the Shastra, from the scriptures, from the holy teachers, we understand that Krishna's form is spiritual, is transcendental. So Nityo Nityanam, Chetana Chetananam, Eko Yo Bahunam Vidati Kama. Krishna and we, all the living entities, all the species, we are eternal, Nityas. And Krishna is the chief of all of them. Nityo Nityanam. Chetana Chetananam, we are all conscious. So what is our activities? We have consciousness, we have thinkings, we have feelings, we have activities. But Krishna is supremely conscious. I am aware only about little my existence, not complete. Little I know, and I know about myself, but I don't know about you. I don't know about all the people who are here. I don't know anything. But Krishna knows about everybody, every place, past, present, future. Sarvagna. Krishna is Sarvagna. So that is the difference between God and living entity. So we are also Atma. Krishna is the Paramatma. So there's a difference is there. Atma, Paramatma. Nityo Nityanam, Chetana Chetananam, Eko Yo Bahunam Vidadikam. That Eka, that one supreme eternal, supreme God, is maintaining all other many eternals. So very clearly, Vedic philosophy gives us the complete understanding. Not only there is something divine in this body, there is something beyond the Lord, and we have an intimate connection. This is a complete understanding. So as Gita, we hear, this will be very clear in Krishna's own words. Yes, so Krishna says there is no question of any destruction of the soul. Arjuna, you're thinking they are all being killed, but they can never be killed. Only their dresses are changed. That's all, Krishna. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinati naroparani. Krishna says, just like dress, I change. Today I'm wearing this dress, tomorrow I wear another dress. That doesn't mean I'm a different person. I'm the same person. Similarly, Krishna gives this wonderful example. This soul, we are changing from one body to another, just like we change dresses. The soul can never be killed. Nothing can kill the soul. No weapons can kill the soul. Now we have only experience of firearms or some weapons like swords and all that. Previously, there used to be water weapons, air weapons, so many more advanced military technology. So Krishna is saying, even with all of them, you cannot kill Arjuna. The soul is my indestructible part and parcel. Mamaiva amsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashashtani indriyani prakritistani karshati. So Krishna says, all the living entities are my amsha, mamaiva amsha. That is in the 15th chapter. So we will come to that later. So Krishna says, all of the living entities in this world, they are my part and parcel. Amsha, amsha means part. Krishna is the Purna and we are the amsha. And how we are part? Sanatana. All the time. It's not that after liberation, we become one with the Lord. One means one in interest. Just like in a family, we have oneness. Means the father, mother, the children, they all look forward for the interest of the family. Or in a country, we are one nation. One means we do not that we all Indians become one. It's not that no such thing happens. But we are one in interest. We are for the interest of the country. Similarly, the oneness, what is spoken after liberation is oneness in interest, wherein a Jivatma serves the Paramatma eternally in the relationship of one of the five rasas, the bhakti. That is the real liberation. So here Krishna very clearly says there is no death for the soul. It is eternal. It is going to be there always. So why you are lamenting Arjuna? There is no reason for lamentation. So this was the first argument by Arjuna, why he will not fight. And Krishna convincingly says, giving the understanding of the soul, that the compassion should be given to give understanding of this soul, to give understanding of who I am, how I am suffering in this world, being caught up in this body, in this temporary body. I'm caught up and I'm forced to act in a different, so many ways, which naturally I will not do. In a natural condition, I'm a pure soul, I'm an eternal servant of the Lord. But having forgotten that, having lost that relationship with the Lord, I am now like a person drowning in the ocean. However expert he may be, expert swimmer, person in the ocean, what he can do? I'm an Olympic champion. I'm a marathon. Nothing can be done. Somebody should come from outside and should save. In the middle of the ocean, what we can do, what is our capacity. So similarly, all of us are in this material existence. We are suffering, we are struggling for existence. So Arjuna, through Arjuna, Krishna is giving us this understanding that we are not the body, we are the soul. So finally, at the end of the class, we have a presentation. Our president has prepared it. So we'll go through that at the end, which will give us more clear. So the second reason Arjuna said was, I don't have any enjoyment. I kill all of these people. Where is enjoyment for me? So Krishna says, no, Arjuna, this is a religious war. You win in this war or you die in this war, it's the only enjoyment for you. Because you win in this war, naturally you'll become the emperor of the whole world. This was not a fight for some small few kilometers at the border we have, countries we are fighting. It's not like that. It is for the whole world. So Arjuna, Krishna is saying, Jitva va prapsyasi. So if you win, you will get a whole earth. So definitely somebody like now we see the big brother, we see generally America in that position. They have so much power. They have so much happiness in that sense, materially. So, but now even they are not undisputed. Previously, the kings were undisputed. So nobody can object to whatever they say. So Krishna is saying, with so much power, so much opulence, where is the question of no happiness? It is not that you're fighting for a small tract of land. You will become the emperors of the whole world. So naturally there is happiness. And then even on the bodily platform. And then Krishna says, if you die, you will go to Svargalokas. Krishna says that. Krishna says, yesterday some devotees were asking whether Svargaloka exists. Krishna says here that if you die here, you will achieve heavenly planets. So Krishna says, heavenly planets, we have no idea. Here we have an idea of something of other countries. Oh, America, such a nice country, so much GDP, so much every person has per capita income. So many ways we feel, oh, if I go there, that is heaven. We feel like that. People, particularly here in India. So, but we get information in the Vedic scriptures, the planets where there are so many more opportunities for enjoyment in whatever way, the eating, sleeping, mating, whatever way they have that capacity, they have the facility to enjoy. And they have a huge lifespan, 1,000 years, 10,000 years. We cannot even. Brahma has a huge lifespan of 311 trillion years. Is one day is our 8.6 billion years. So we'll come to that. We'll understand in Gita. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, why do you worry? Even if you die, this temporary life, spot life, 100 years, 200 years. So after that, you will achieve so much, even material happiness. So you fight. It's for a good cause, you fight. So the second reason, Arjuna said there is no happiness. Krishna said, if you don't fight, there is no happiness. Because if you don't fight, people like Karna and Duryodhana will not consider that you fled away from the war out of compassion. They will think, oh, Arjuna is a coward. Arjuna, seeing such our might, he ran away from the battlefield. And they will always speak ill about you. So for a person, respected person, it is said, somebody gives him this ill fame. So he cannot tolerate it. He will feel it is better than death. Somebody who is respected, who always got that due, when he gets that disrespect, he cannot handle it. So Krishna says, if you don't fight, there will be unhappiness. They will not consider that out of great vairagya, great renunciation, detachment you give up. They will think Arjuna is a coward, number one coward. So they will. So that means you should fight. You should fight. If you win, if you lose, both ways you are benefited. So there is only happiness for you. So that is what Krishna says. And of course, Arjuna is fighting on the order of Krishna. So where is the question of no happiness? Definitely, he's pleasing Krishna, and Yasmin Tushte Jagat Tushna. So somebody pleases Krishna, he will be able to please the whole world. Savai pumsam paro dharma yatho bhakti radokshe yahai tukya prate yatatma suprasidati. So that is the way of life, to please Krishna. So there is no question of unhappiness. When somebody acts for Krishna, to please Krishna, whatever, so there is no question of unhappiness. The third reason Arjuna says is, it's a great sin. Sin will overcome us if we kill all these people. Krishna says, no, Arjuna, there is no question of sin. Just like when a soldier fights on behalf of the country, he is awarded with Paramvir Chakra. Similarly, it's a religious war sanctioned by the Lord, willed by the Lord. So Arjuna fights this war. There is no question of any sin. If Arjuna doesn't fight the war, it is a sin, because he's a Kshatriya, he's a warrior. He has his responsibility, duty to protect the citizens. He's not doing that, so he'll become responsible. So Krishna says, if you don't fight, it is sin. If you fight, there is no sin. Neha Vikramanasho Asti Pratyavayo na Vidyate. Yeah, this was the shloka, the heaven and the earth. Krishna says, Swargam. Krishna is using the word Swargam. So it is not, there is no Swarga, there is Swarga. We hear, again, here, we are here. Yeah. Yes, Krishna says, even a small endeavor on this path, as a devotion to the cause of the Lord, to serve the Lord, even a small attempt on this path will save one from a greatest danger. So Arjuna, he says there is a sin. Krishna says there is no question of sin. Even a small endeavor will save you from great reactions of sin. We have our reactions coming down from many hundreds and millions of lifetimes. We don't know why this is happening, why I am doing like this, why my particular behavior is like this, because all my previous sinful activities, they all again come back, and I'm forced to do that. Anyway, whatever way, Krishna says, you engage in devotional service on my order. When you do things, it will save you from greatest danger, and there is no sin in that sense. So these are a few shlokas. This is one of the shloka it's kept, but in the verses 38 to 53, Krishna very solidly establishes there is no question of sin. So he's fighting on the order of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Arjuna, there is no question of sin. So here we see how even small attempts in spiritual life, like it's recommended for us now to chant the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this chanting will save us from, we cannot even imagine. Simple chanting. Just we have to use our tongue, God-given ears, and we chant his names, his holy names. And we can see how we are rapidly advancing in spiritual life, in proper understanding. We are feeling the real connection with the Lord, which is not some theory, which is a practical fact. So here we see how great people, they served the Lord and they achieved perfection. Here we hear the story of a small squirrel when the Lord was constructing the bridge to go to Lanka to kill Ravana. That time Hanuman is saying, wow, what is this? Why this small squirrel is obstructing me? So you get aside. Then Rama interfered, the Lord Rama interfered and said, Hanuman, I don't even need your service. I'm self-satisfied. I have all the capacity, but I've given you an opportunity to serve. So you, as per your capacity, you serve. Similarly, the squirrel is also my servant, my eternal servant. So let him also serve as per his capacity. So whatever our little capacity is, we try to serve the Lord. We try to please the Lord. That attitude we should have in life. So the chanting Hare Krishna means it's an attitude to please the Lord. Oh Lord, kindly engage me in a service. That is the meaning of Hare Krishna mantra, nothing else. So even a small attempt will save us from the greatest danger. It is said the great danger is next life we don't know where we will be. Whether again I am going to take birth as an Indian, as a human, as a man, woman, I don't know. I can become a cat, I can become a dog, I can become anything, any insect, any plant. Nothing is in my control. We hear so many things in the scriptures, so many references. Bharat Maharaj had to become a deer, such a great personality. Mani Grivanalakuva, they became trees. So many histories we hear. Not that we are once a human, always a human. This is another wrong understanding. No. Every living entity is a spirit soul, independent of the body. As per our previous karma and as per our desires, we get a particular body. Like we go to purchase some car, there are some thousand models, thousand different things. Whatever is our capacity and whatever we like, we can purchase. It depends on both of them. Similarly, we get one of the 8,400,000 species of life which is there in the universe. Maybe an insect, maybe a bird, maybe a plant, maybe a human, and so many gradations even among them. So it's all as per our desires. Krishna as Paramatma has noted down each one of our desire and our previous karma, whether we to get the desire, are we qualified? It depends on that. Suppose I want to become an engineer. So if I have the capacity, I can take birth as a great devata. I can become a Vishwakarma or even Lord Brahma. If I don't have that karma, I'll become a small insect and I will construct some bird, and I'll construct some. There are so many wonderful engineers even among birds, the Tyler bird, Weaver bird, even the insects, they construct their homes. So it is said like that, depending upon our desire, depending upon our previous karmas, we get our body. So but when we take up devotional service, even a little attempt on this path will save us from taking birth again in the animal species. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, third reason why you have to fight. There is no sin. Because of the reactions of sin, we are continuously taking birth. Arjuna, on my order, you are doing this for it's a dharma yuddha. There is no question of sin. If you don't fight, that's a sin. That's what Krishna says. The fourth reason, Arjuna said, the family traditions will be lost. Who will guide the future generations? Who will protect the women folk? Arjuna is having the objection. Krishna said, see, yatha raja tata praja. King, an ideal king, automatically all the citizens will become ideal. That's what happened after Mahabharata. Under the kingdom of Maharaj Yudhishthira, everybody, they experienced a spiritual life in this material world. Because such a perfect king, such an ideal king, so there is no loss, no lamentation. So just like here is shown, generally it is our parents who guide us. So in understanding in the so Krishna, Yadid Acharati Shreshas Tatta Devetaro Jana. So Krishna is telling, with such a ideal king, with the after effect of this war, what is going to be? So there is no question of loss of family traditions. Family traditions will be upheld. It will not be destroyed, it will be upheld. Whatever is not there also will be established. There, Yada Yada Dharmasya, Glanir Bhavati Bharata, Abhyuttana Madarsasya, Tadatmanam Sujamyam. So Krishna is establishing Dharma. So there is no question of loss of family traditions. So that also Krishna nullifies the argument. So actually, there are particular verses for all these things. Uh, It's not here. Okay. I should have made into one presentation. Actually, they have prepared everything, but it is all in different presentations, and little struggle for me to find out which is where. Okay. So already the 4 reasons, what Arjuna objections he said, why I will not fight, Krishna has answered. And the 5th reason Arjuna said was, he was feeling uh, in a dual mind, what to do. I'm not sure. He was feeling like that. So Krishna answered that also. He said, if you come to the spiritual platform, the real understanding of life, that I am not the body, I am the soul. So you will get a resolute purpose in life. Vivasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kurunandana. Baushaka iv anantascha buddhayo avyavasayina. So with those words, Krishna said that somebody who comes to real understanding of life, then he has no question of bewilderment at any point in life. He knows, he's very sure about what he's going to do. Whatever come, he may be successful, he may be not successful, but he knows what he's doing is pleasing the Lord. So he's unmoved by the circumstances. We generally, whenever things happen nicely, we get inspired, we get enthused, we go on doing those things. But when reverses come in life, we feel like what we are doing, why we are doing, we find it like that. But a person who is on the spiritual platform, he has no question of being confused, unenthused, nothing like that. He's always very, very enthusiastic. Just like our Acharya Srila Prabhupada, he received the order from his guru at the age of 25. But till 70 years, practically nothing happened like that. There was no much books being printed, no much followers, no much centers. We can see that nothing much happened. But Acharya was resolute in his purpose, and he continued with the same enthusiasm. That was how Krishna created magic at the end. Within a short span of 10 years, 108 temples came up from nowhere. The followers in lakhs, millions sprung up, and the real Dharma came, understanding everything. So it is like magic. So because Prabhupada was resolute in determination, he was in the spiritual platform, completely on the spiritual platform. So that is what Krishna is saying. Somebody comes to this platform, there's no question of indecision, of doubt, anything like that. There's no question of that. So anyway, I think we may share it as a PDF later, but today I'll continue with the first presentation, whatever I have. Yes, this is the shloka. Krishna says, a person on the spiritual platform is one-pointed. His focus is one. It's not that, should I do this, should I do that? No, there is no question of that. This is showing how Arjuna, even as a small boy, when once his guru Dronacharya was testing all the disciples, he showed a particular target. And everybody was saying, I see a tree, I see a fruit, I see a bird, different things they were seeing. But Arjuna, when he was asked, he said, I see the bird's eye. So as a warrior, his target should be so fixed. So then Drona is telling, yes, you should. So similarly, in our activities in our life, we should be so pointed in our efforts, and without wasting time, wasting our energy. So that kind of a guidance, that kind of a understanding Bhagavad-Gita can give us, the Lord can give us. Then Krishna talks about karmanyeva adhikarati ma phaleshu kadachana. The karma yoga shloka generally we are aware of. Do your duty without attachment to the result and offer the result to the Lord. So Krishna speaks all that verse. We are not showing it here because the next chapter is the subject of karma yoga. We'll come to that. But second chapter, Krishna speaks about everything. Karma yoga, Gnana yoga, Dhyana yoga, Bhakti yoga, different elements of spiritual life. Everything he speaks. That's why it's called summary of Bhagavad Gita. And he's answered Arjuna's questions very convincingly, that why he has to fight the war. In every way, in a material way, in spiritual way, every way, Krishna has said Arjuna has to fight. Then when Arjuna asks this question, how do we come to this platform, or how do we understand a person who is in this spiritual platform? Okay, I understood. I'm not this body. But it's not very easy to come to the platform, to come to this understanding. So how to identify such a person? So how do I also understand that I have reached that position? So now our Krishna will answer, what is the symptoms of a self-realized person who knows that I am not this body, I am the soul. He is situated in his real identity. So what are the symptoms? So before this, there is also Krishna primarily says, Prajahati yada kamans sarvan partha manogatan. Atman Nevatmana Tushna, Sitadir Muni Tadochete. Krishna says, one who has given up all kinds of material desires. Sometimes we think spiritual life means giving up everything, giving up all desires. Actually, we cannot give up desires. That is the difference between me and a stone. A stone, for that matter, has no desires. It has no life. Any life, the symptom is desires are there. But now it's a contaminated desires. It desires for in terms of misunderstanding of what is good, what is bad. I'm thinking in terms of the body, and I'm thinking this will satisfy me, this will make me happy. But really, the original desire for every living entity is to serve the Lord, is to please the Lord. And in that service, every soul enjoys unlimited happiness. So that desires we have to cultivate. It's not that we give up desire. We cannot give up desire at any time. Desires will be there, but give up bad desires, take up good desires. The desire to serve the Lord, to please the Lord. So the Krishna says, a selfless person who understands the value of this material desires. What is this? We're trying to achieve in this, through this body, through this temporal. This body is needed for us. Through this body only we have to endeavor in spiritual life today. But Krishna is telling, so-called in illusion we try to achieve. So a selfless person knows the value of these things. It knows that is all some valueless things. So it is. So Krishna says that is the one of the symptoms. He has no material desires. And Krishna also gives a nice example. Here we find Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Prahlad. He was always remembering the Lord, always serving the Lord. So even in such a danger, he was not affected. So we become affected. Little somebody scolds us, little somebody chastises us. But Prahlad Maharaj was tried to be killed, but still he was undisturbed. This is a person in spiritual platform, completely aloof from the body. Even though he's executed, later he became the king also. It was not that Prahlad Maharaj was just a devotee, was chanting Hare Krishna. No, later he became a responsible king after the death of his father. As a small boy, he was crowned as a king, Bhakta Prahlad. He executed his duties very nicely. So that is a Sita Prajna, the person who is so advanced in knowledge, so advanced in understanding. Yes, so Srila Prabhupada is again a Sita Prajna. That is why he's shown. He was living in a very humble way before going to US in 1960s. He was in Vrindavan. Even now, that place is there, Radha Damodara temple. It's a very old temple. It's constructed 500 years ago. One of the temple constructed by Srila Jiva Goswami, a great Acharya. So Srila Prabhupada rented 2 rooms in that, small rooms. Even if when you go to Vrindavan, you can visit those places. So humble circumstances Srila Prabhupada was living. So that is what this picture is showing. And then later on, Krishna gave him an opportunity to go across and establish wonderful temples. He remained the same person, even though he was, whether he was as an Acharya, he was in that position, or before that, he was practicing, he was there in Vrindavan. He's the same person. Sita Prajna. These are all Sita Prajnas who, independent of the circumstances, they are in transcendence. They are completely in Samadhi on the Lord. They are in connection with the Lord. So, but now that is not our condition. Our condition is we are in this body, we are affected by all the insults, all the desires. So Krishna says that in our present life, how we get affected, how we get trapped by these material things. So he says, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangas Teshopajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodo Vijayate Krodat Bhavati Sammoha Sammoha Smritir Vibramaha Smritir Brahmshad Buddhinasho Buddhinashat Pranashyati. So presently, we have to be careful. So Krishna is warning us, he is telling us, Kama, Krodha. In next chapter also Krishna will advise us how we have to win over all these things. The desire, the anger, the greed, the uh, uh, Kama, Krodha, the 6 enemies. So Krishna says, in our conditioned life, we are affected. It all starts from small contemplation. We never know anything, but some object we start thinking, meditating on that, then we get attachment to that object. A typical example is given here. Suppose a brahmachari. So brahmachari, he should be completely aloof from women, but he starts meditating, thinking about a woman, about a girl, then he gets attached. Then he wants to have her, whatever may be the thing. If he doesn't get, he becomes angry, he becomes frustrated. So everybody has to follow the rules and regulations of brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. So it's a very wonderful our dharma, sanatana dharma. But otherwise, we break it. So it is like this chain. As it goes, the desire, then the greed, then finally we lose our intelligence, we lose our understanding, we lose ourselves. But we don't know what we are doing. So it's how the mind gets degraded. Krishna is speaking. So the more we will hear in the coming chapters, I think even Prabhuji was presenting previously, the mind control. Let us see if we can do. There are very nice presentations on that, because Krishna gives wonderful solutions how to control this mind. Without controlling this mind, we cannot come to the spiritual platform. We cannot come to our existence independent of the body. So it's very important to control our base desires, our emotions. But we take guidance from the Lord. It's not that we try ourselves. Yes, we try, but we depend on the mercy of the Lord. The simple process in Kali Yuga to control the mind is to chant the Lord's names. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatirneta. By chanting the Lord's names, we get the necessary power to control our mind. So that is also being spoken of in the second chapter. Finally, Krishna says a self-realized person is like a ocean water which will not get agitated even when so many tons of gallons of water come to the ocean. The rivers, they all come and merge into the water of the ocean. Nothing will happen to ocean. Similarly, says somebody is living on that platform, the spiritual platform. So many material desires, living in the family, living in the society, nothing will affect him. He is completely fixed in his meditation on the Lord, in his service to the Lord. So that is what the perfection of human life. So second chapter practically summarizes the Gita. Krishna saying that we are not the body, we are the spirit soul. And Krishna is the Paramatma, the supreme soul, the super soul, sitting in everyone's heart. He is there apart as the Paramatma, as the supreme personality of Godhead Bhagavan, but also is there simultaneously in every atom, in every heart of the living entity, apart from the soul as Paramatma. So Krishna gives that understanding in this chapter. And he says, to achieve this position of understanding, I'm not the body, I'm the spirit soul, I'm an eternal servant of the Lord. My business is to go back to Godhead. Just like we always feel we want a permanent house, there is a permanent house in the spiritual world, permanent existence. So that is our destination, that is our goal. Second chapter actually is a summary of the Bhagavad-Gita. Anyway, now Arjuna will ask questions for us to get more clarity, and Krishna will start explaining the third chapter onwards. So this is a summary of the Gita in the third chapter. Krishna's solutions to Arjuna's objections in these different shlokas. There is second level classes, then that time our president will take. So I request all of you to join that. Many of you are already part of it. So there, more clarity, more understanding by more experienced Prabhuji is able to get. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, all of you. Already we have crossed 7. Generally, I think Prabhuji also shows a presentation. I don't know whether I should do that.